How did I start playing drums? Well, my father was a musician, organ player, so I ended up basically, I don't remember how I started, but I think my mom tells me I started from around age 2, and I've been playing, with my dad on stage since I was a baby. Yeah, so that's kind of how I started. Yeah, so this also comes from my father. So my father was an organ player, and his teacher was Jimmy Smith, an organ legend. So I grew up kind of hanging out with his crew, the Jimmy Smith crew, which was like Grady Tate on drums, Ron Carter, George Benson, Stellan Tarantine, people like that. A lot of them were like my uncles. So I grew up on that kind of world, So those were like my idols. Of course, like after moving into the US at age 7, I started listening to a lot of rock and roll and gospel music and all that. So yeah, there's a lot of influence from me, but my original idols were those people. Why Tama drums? Well, when I started my rock band in about 1993 in New York, all the rock drummers that I liked, like Metallica Lars or Dream Theater Mike Portnoy, or all the rock stars used Tama drums. And my first drum set that I bought was Tama Art Star, which was Pat Torpey, Mr. Big's drummer's model. That was the first drum kit that I actually ever bought with my own money. So yeah, so it's been like that for since I was a teenager. And then I went to Japan to play with this artist named MISIA in Japan in 2009, I believe. And I needed a drum set for that tour. And since I've been using Tama in New York in all my life pretty much, I hit up, my friend was endorsed by Tama, so he helped me out. And I spoke to people in Tama, and they've been very supportive, and I've been with them ever since. Yeah. Yeah, so that kind of answers I wanted to talk about this from the previous question, why Tama 2? My favorite, it's very kind of hard. Mainly I use two types, Star Classic Babinga or the Star Series Maple. Those are the two main kits that I use. I like them both, they're very different. I think that back in the 80s and 90s, you would think about Tama being like more of a rock kind of kit. But I think that Tama came out with a really big evolution when they came out with the Star Series. The Star Series, it just changed the game for Tama, I think, because it has that vintage kind of sound, So you can really play any kind of music, really from really straight ahead jazz to anything, to rock, to whatever, It's a very vintage sound. So with the Star Classic Babinga and all the different series, I think Tama is now very versatile. And that's why Tama is very popular now, in my opinion. Hong Kong, man, I've been here a few times, but this place is such a beautiful city in that I love it because all these architectures from years ago, very old buildings and the modern buildings, they're next to each other, So it's just it seems like a scene from a movie or something, It's just the whole city is very beautiful, a lot of high skyscrapers, and yeah, it has a very old tradition and very modern, and it's very international too. So for me, yeah, Hong Kong is definitely one of my favorite cities in Asia. Yeah, well, I'd say listen to all kinds of music, because I feel like drummers are the foundation of an ensemble or a band. And us drummers, we should listen to all kinds of music and learn different types of music, whatever, you know. Whether that could be any, you know, in a band situation or even, you know, backing up artists. So yeah, I definitely recommend doing that. And also obviously practicing, you know, rudiments and, you know, very basic stuff slowly first, you know. Because we have to train our muscles to really learn and then be creative with that, you know. Like we can start off with a very simple rudiment, or it could be a difficult rudiment, but we have to first internally get it, like a muscle memory, and then use that, you know, in a creative form. So we have to have both. So we gotta practice and be creative, and then listen to just a lot of music, you know. And then also be a nice guy, you know. That's another thing. Like you wanna go on tour, you wanna get hired, you don't wanna be like, you know, a-hole, you know what I mean? You wanna be a nice guy, and you know, a guy that people wanna work with. So that's another thing. Just be thankful, you know. Stay humble and be thankful. That's my advice.